This is Eagle Out, and today I'll be talking about Kenny Pickett. He should be enough to beat the Cowboys. Also, this Nick Sirianni and Zach Ertz got into a fight. And lastly, we got to watch Shaq Barrett coming to Philadelphia. But let's get straight into it. All right, man, before we hop straight into it, got to say congratulations to Deshawn Jackson. He will be a head coach at Delaware State University. I mean, man, I'm in my late 20s, but this make me feel old when you think of the Deshawn Jacksons, even the Michael Vick, who is a head coach now of a college football team. Those basically the guys I grew up on. So congratulations to those guys, man. Deshawn Jackson, a head coach, Mike Vick. That lets you know where college football is going because this is the Deion Sanders effect, in my opinion. Deion Sanders opened a lot of doors for former athletes, especially the ones that's knowledgeable about the game, to get a head coaching job. So congratulations to those guys. And even though Deion Sanders, he was a Cowboy, he was an op, he was a 49er too. I got to keep it real. He opened the door for these former athletes. All right, so let's get into the topics. Let's talk about this Nick Sirianni and Zach Ertz thing. A lot of you guys seen the short I posted, and I literally post that title to be funny because when I say this was a big story before the footage came out, like Nick Sirianni, Zach Ertz got into a fight, Big Dom had to break it up. I'm like, that don't even make sense. So the footage came out, and let me play the clips of the footage.
J Mike! J Mike!
Not really going to get into the specifics, but just two people that really love to compete, I would say. Nick and I had a great relationship when I was there. We still have a great relationship. And I think it's definitely been blown away out of proportion. We spoke, we're good. There's no ill feelings on my part, and I don't think there's any ill feelings on his part. It's just something in the heat of the moment probably got blown out of proportion. It may be a misunderstanding, but at the end of the day, him and I are fine. Everyone knows how I feel about that place and that building. But at the same time, I love being here. And so everything is getting blown away out of proportion.
Are you known as not a big deal? Not a big deal. So what it looked like to me, it was just the heat of the moment. Like we just lost on a walk-on touchdown. Two guys, they tempers flaring. And I respect it. A lot of guys like Nick Sirianni is an a-hole, this and that. I respect the emotions. Like, yo, we just came off a big loss. Yo, we got an interception within the 3 minutes left of the fourth quarter. Still lost on the walk-on touchdown. It's like a lot of things happened that was fluky. So Nick Sirianni probably was just frustrated. And a little thing that Zach Ertz shaking his hand too hard probably ticked him off. So I don't take it as a big thing. It is what it is. I'm happy that we are showing emotion because if you go back to the 49ers game, always go back to that game where James Bradbury's getting pushed around, we getting blown out, and it looked like the fans care more than the players. But now the players are showing that emotion, knowing we could come back and do what we need to do. All right, speaking of doing what we need to do, let's talk about Kenny Pickett. So, actually, before we get into Kenny Pickett, just a little off topic, I was watching some of the practice clips, and I seen Jake Elliott doing the kickoffs. Thank God. We need Jake Elliott back on the kickoffs because I think he need as much kits as possible. Brandon Mann's having a phenomenal year punting the ball, but kickoffs, absolutely not. So we need Jake Elliott back. I don't even know what made the special teams coach switch to that. But back to Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett should be enough, to beat the Cowboys for sure. And he actually said he will play because that was the guy I was worried about. And let me play this clip.
Full go today?
Yeah, full go today. Tested out some different things padding-wise, just to make sure I feel good with it for Sunday, but yeah.
And the tests that you got afterwards, you feel good about how that all came out?
Yeah, I mean, there's it is what it is, just something I'm going to have to deal with, so yeah, I'll be ready to go for Sunday.
Do you expect to have any limitations because of the injury?
No, I think, after a couple more days, getting a chance to kind of rest it a little bit more and go do some rehab, I'll be good for Sunday.
You see, he said he will play, but the reason why I say he's enough to beat the Cowboys because Cowboys just ruled out CD Lamb. So they ain't gonna have no offensive star like that or a wide receiver we should be worried about. The defense doing what they doing, and then Kenny Pickett still having AJ Brown, Devontae Smith in that O line. You should still win the game. And the Cowboys, I think they hanging it up like we tanking is over. Maybe they lose their final two. We'll see. But yeah, man, Kenny Pickett was a starter. He was a first round pick. His record is like 14-10 or something like that. Or I could be wrong. So he should be good enough to beat a backups Cowboys. He definitely should be good enough. If not, no excuse. If it's the Cowboys beat us, then I don't know, man. That let you know Jalen Hurts mask a lot of things, but Kenny Pickett should definitely be enough to beat a CeeDee Lamb less Cowboys with Cooper Rush. No excuses. If we lose, the better team won. If we win, the better team won. Should definitely win this game, man. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That defense is still ranked, what, number one, number two, or whatever. Remember, even against Washington, we got 5 turnovers. If we get 5 turnovers or something like that against the Cowboys, we should beat them. We should definitely beat them. No excuses. No like, oh man, no Jalen Hurts, this and that. I'm on Nick Sirianni, on Vic Fangio, on Kellen Moore if we decide to lose this game. No excuses. And again, Kenny Pickett, you were a first round pick. We still got Saquon Barkley. I get it. He's been doing really well because of Jalen Hurts. You got to worry about him. But Saquon Barkley got to get it going. A.J. Brown, you want the ball. Kenny Pickett show you he will throw it to you. You one-on-one, he will throw it to you. Devontae Smith, not sure what happened last game, but you got to do what you got to do. And the guy that low-key had a bad game and who low-key been having good games too is Grant Calcaterra. And that's what I mean when people so ready to write off Dallas Goedert. Yes, Grant Calcaterra is good at catching the ball, but when he's not doing that, he's not a productive guy. He doesn't block well or anything like that. Need them chip blocks, some extra blocks from Grant Calcaterra. He got to do his job. Definitely have to do his job. So no excuses again. Kenny Pickett should be enough to beat them. And the injury report, it definitely showed. I didn't go over the injury report because it wasn't too many guys hurt. I know A.J. Brown was still listed with that knee, and then Jalen Hurts was listed out. This is not an estimate. We practiced, and he was definitely out. All right, so last topic to watch is Shaq Barrett. So Shaq Barrett was recently released from the Dolphins, the defensive end. I know there have been a lot of rumors of him coming to Philadelphia. I don't know if the Eagles do it. I like what Nolan Smith is doing. Bryce Huff coming back. Well, Brandon Graham is out. Maybe he could replace him. I don't know. But we got some guys that been cooking. Josh Sweat been cooking. And then you sign the Shaq Barrett. You basically saying, Jayless Hunt, you've been great, but we're going to sit you for the rest of the year. And you're going to get maybe a snap or two. So Shaq Barrett, yes, he will be an upgrade for sure. But I hate that it will stunt the growth of some of these guys because he's taking snaps. So you're going to take snaps from Nolan Smith. Probably take all of Jayless Hunt snap. Do Bryce Huff get in here or there? I don't really see him taking snaps from Josh Sweat, really, but he's going to take some snaps from these young guys, which I wouldn't like. But if I'm being honest, Shaq Barrett will make the Philadelphia Eagles better. And it's scream Howie Roseman, let's be honest. And even Zach Berman put out, like, Eagles fans should definitely watch Shaq Barrett coming to Philadelphia. So we will see. Maybe he replaced the Brandon Graham rule. But again, that was Jayless Hunt replacing it. I thought he was doing pretty well. Again, Shaq Barrett is Shaq Barrett. It is what it is. Jayless Hunt will get his time, but I will still hate it at the same time. But that's all I got for you guys today. And hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel? This Nick Sirianni, Zach Ertz thing, I just think it was a lot of emotions. Deshawn Jackson, Michael Vick, how we feel about that? Kenny Pickett, should he be enough? Shaq Barrett, and this is Eagle Al. I'm out.